Stats23 here, and today's Knife Day Everywhere. I have the top 10 best hard use knives, $60 and under. I've given y'all mid-range, I've given y'all premium, and now this is the one that a lot of people want to see. I did this a while back, but this is an updated version. Now these right here are all good, tough knives that just didn't make it for the didn't make it on this list because there was other knives that I thought beat it out. Like this Kubi Momentum is a good work knife, but it's just a regular liner lock. Excellent blade shape though, but there's something on this list that beat that one out. This is a good budget work knife because you have the crossbar lock. This is the SRM 9201. I beat the snot out of this in G10, D2, comfortable, but it's just not the blade shape I would want to use as a hard use knife, but it is tough. I think these run like 30 bucks or something for the D2 ones. Another SRM. This is the SRM 9211. This one's an 8CR. That's the main reason why this one didn't make the list, but like 20 something bucks because of the 8CR. This little guy was close to being on the list. It's the SRM 7228 D2 steel. But there was one that just barely beat this one out. And I don't really love the handle scales on this, but I do love the blade shape. Another crossbar lock on this one. And they're not always easy to find. But a good USA options would be maybe these two. You have the Buck Spitfire, large. It does have a recurve there though, but it is a tough knife. It has a strong back lock to it. 420HC steel, Paul Boss heat treated. Buck USA produced. And then, of course, the tried and true Buck 110. This is a boat anchor, but, definitely can handle some abuse. But once again, that blade shape's not usually what I'm going to go for with a hard use knife. And lastly, we have this CMB Made Knives Predator. Because of that bar lock, it's super strong. And that blade shape's excellent. It's pretty thinly ground, good action. But like I said, there's a couple of knives that beat these out. All right, now let's get started. These are in no particular order. First up, we have the Cold Steel Toughlite, a good lightweight option. You have that tried and true, super strong triad lock. Excellent ergos on this. And it's a good utility style cutting knife. Also 8A blade steel. This is going to run you 33 bucks. FRN scales, but theirs, I think Rivery or something like that. Theirs are pretty darn strong. I cannot flex that whatsoever. Very light. The only thing I don't love is the tip down pocket clip, but other than that, excellent beater. Tough little knife. Number two, we have the Artisan Proponent. Now this is another utility style knife that is overbuilt to the max. I mean, look at this. Look at those big old studs, chunky stock. 3 spacers back here for the rigidity in the back. Big old stop pin, and it comes with a steel pin that you can screw into this to where you're going to break the blade before you break, anything else like that. Kind of like that extreme ratio knife. This thing is a beast. This is a dirt piercing design, D2 steel, and the full-size Proponent comes in at 56 bucks. Pretty excellent value for what you're getting here. Coated blade, flipper R, a thumb stud action, and they also came back out with the they called it the Proponent subsize, which I just picked one of them up. It's a little bit smaller. I think it's a 3-inch blade. This one's a 3.75-inch blade, I'm pretty sure. G10 scales. It is riding on bearings. It's usually not my first choice for a hard use knife, but if you're not working in a dusty environment, this will be just fine, especially if you like bigger beastly knives. Number 3, we have the CJRB Krog, and you can see the love marks all over there. I beat the snot out of this one. This one's in the AR RPM 9 steel. It's a stainless powdered metallurgy steel, and I prefer this one over the D2, but I put these head-to-head together, this one and one of their D2 model ones just like this, and they perform pretty darn close to the same. Excellent action on these. That cleaver blade It's tough. The lock didn't disengage on me. You know, it's got a little bit later lockup from all the beating on it I did. 2 standoffs in the back right here. You can get it without the carbon fiber, peel ply, whatever. It's just that piece of carbon fiber on top of the G10. Now, this is another one on bearings. So if you're working in a dusty environment, if you do woodwork or something like that, this may not be the knife for you, because if you get stuff in those bearings, it's going to gum up that action pretty bad. But this is definitely a tough knife. This one right here is going to run you $45, and the D2 one's going to be even cheaper than that. Number 4, we have the Ontario Rat Model 1 and D2. I don't think you can have a list like this without having the Rat Model 1 or the Rat Model 2 on this list. I'm going to choose the Rat Model 1 for a tougher task. It's got more handle, more blade. It feels better. It's more comfortable than the R2D2, in my opinion. These things can take a beating. You have, look at all the, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 standoffs that are giving you a lot of side-to-side rigidity. It is a liner lock, but these things can take a beating. Ask anybody who's ever, I mean, just look on YouTube. I've beat several of these. I've owned several of them. I have the D2 variations. The D2 the Rat 1 and D2 is going to run you $46, and the OS 8 version is going to run you $35. Sometimes the R2D2s are even more expensive, but you really can't beat the Rat for the price. I saw in SHOT Show they're coming out with S35 VN Rat and G10 scales. That doesn't really do it for me, because this to me is just a great beater knife and excellent blade for just about anything. Excellent action. What do y'all think about the S35 VN or Rat 1? Not my cup of tea. I don't know. We'll see. I may pick one up just to test the steel out. Number 5, we have the Rosecraft Blades Mohawk, and this is the last one that is on bearing. So once again, if you're in a dusty environment, this might not be the knife for you. But the price point and how chunky this knife is, how solid and robust it is, that's why it made the list. It's only $34. D2 steel, big old harpoon drop point there. Look at that. Look at that tip. Nice and thick liners here. Good action on it. Very comfortable scales. You got contoured micarta scales on there. Nice flipper deployment and nice thumb stud deployment. Comfortable. The only thing that I don't like about the knife is the pocket clip, because mine's very stiff. I can't even lift it up. But I'm sure you could spring it out some and loosen that up some. You have 2 standoffs over here in the back. $34. I think it's kind of like that Rat 2. Excellent option. Number 6, we have the Essie Avispa R, the smaller Essie Zancudo. Both of these are the D2 variants. They had that beautiful drop point blade, FRN show scale, and a stainless frame lock. Now, I've had several of these bigger ones. The only problem sometimes with the bigger ones there are that, just like this one, that pocket clip sitting on the lock bar. So it can be a little tough to, manipulate that lock. But I've bent it out a little bit, and you can't see that. It's gotten a lot better, a lot smoother. Definitely want to keep your fingers off the lock bar. It's a nice slim design, and look at all the standoffs, kind of like that Rat. All the standoffs for all that side-to-side torque. This one's on washers, and the D2 one's only going to run you, let's see, $41. The Zancudo is going to run you $37. Now, number 7 was going to be the KBAR Dozer. This is a D2 Dozer, and, it's a great knife. The OS 8A one, even better, I think, just because it's a cheaper price point. This thing, I've modded mine. Look how smooth. Whoop. Super smooth action. These are super lightweight, thin carry knives. And, they're good. They're good knives. The D2 version is going to cost you $42, and the OS 8 is going to run you $27. But after doing the testing, and you can see, let's see, you can see the I guess, chip in the edge right there. That was from chopping through some copper wire. But I did the same test with this other knife that I'm going to put in the spot instead of these. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts on that. And that is, for me, the Cold Steel Mini Recon. You got the same lightweight, not as lightweight as those because you have, you know, the triad lock that's a little bit more beefy steel. But the Mini Recon one, super comfortable. It is in AUS 10A steel. It holds an edge way better than these, and it's way tougher than these. Let's see, any edge damage on this? I did the same test, and I don't think, yeah, absolutely no edge damage whatsoever. And talk about come stupid sharp, and they hold a great edge. The Taiwanese factory for Cold Steel does such a good job with their heat treat. This one right here is, in my opinion, a far superior knife than those two. You know, they're all good, but if I had to choose one, it would be this one. And this one's only going to run you 46 bucks. This one's running you 42 bucks. You know, you get more of a knife, in my opinion, on this one. I personally would go with the drop point, though, for a hard use knife, even though this one's got a pretty thick tip. But I just don't think clip point's always the best option for a hard use knife. Drop point is usually my go-to, or the Tanto is another good option. Triad lock on this one, so of course it's going to be way stronger than the back lock on these two. Now at the end, I'm going to give y'all my #1 favorite out of all these knives on this list. And y'all just wait to the end. But number 8, we have the Cold Steel SR1 Lite. And in my opinion, this is the best pound for pound hard use knife on this list because of the price point. You can get this knife right here for $42. And sometimes they go on sale for 38 bucks or something like that. Now, it is an ACR 13 MOV, but you have such a big blade. And I tell you, it came stupid sharp. It worked really well. It's not as heavy as you would think, even though you have super robust stock, robust triad lock, super smooth action too. I can almost flip this out. I can't do it behind the camera because I don't have enough room. Let me see. Little wrist action. I can flip mine out. You can choke up on it. It does have FRN scales, or the whatever, grivery or whatever they call it. And they got this stipple pattern on there that gives you a nice traction, nice grip. Yeah, just look. You can see that I beat this one from, if you didn't see my review of this one, go check it out. See what this knife can handle, and then think about, you know, if you're wanting to purchase this or not. It also comes in a drop point. I just got this one just because I knew it was going to beat the snot out of it. I think they're both just as strong. But yeah, good knife for the money, no doubt. Number 9, we have the Cold Steel Large Voyager. This one right here is going to run you 60 bucks. And I would probably go with the Tanto if I were going to go with one. Do they not make the drop point in the large? You know, you have super grippy texture with the cross hatch pattern on the FRN or grivery scales. Super strong triad lock. Smooth action on washers, very comfortable in hand. Nice, I think it's a 4-inch blade on the large. AUS 10A blade steel. Yeah, just another robust one. Fairly lightweight too because of the FRN scales. You do have a stainless liner inside there. That does give it a little bit extra weight. You do have a tip up left or right handed pocket clip on these as well. Now, if size isn't a problem for you, I'd go with this bad boy. This is the XL drop point Voyager. And yeah, let me just show you the size difference. It's a beast. Absolute beast. If you like big old knives, this one's a monster. And this one's actually cheaper than this one. This one's $58, this one's $60. Go figure. I don't know. But I love these beastly knives. They're just fun. Now, like I said before, number 10 is my #1 favorite on this list, and I'll tell you why in just a second. That is the Cold Steel Airlite. This right here is such a good knife as far as, look how thin it is. Super lightweight. Just G10 peel ply G10 slabs that are nice and thin. No liners in there. The OS 10A blade steel, nice and robust, so it can handle a beating. I've seen many people beat on these, and they can take it. Triad lock, tip up pocket clip, and I think you can go left or right-handed on that. Totally ambidextrous, comfortable in hand. And the reason why it's my #1 pick is because it's the easiest one to carry out of all the ones I just showed. This one's going to run you right at 60 bucks, so it's right on that line of the price point right here. But if you want one that's carryable, that you can bring to work and thrash on, they have this one. They have the Tanto. This is the one I would go with just because it's more useful for me. But if you like Tantos, it's an excellent option. So definitely let me know what y'all think about this list. Did I miss any? You know, and if you tell me a knife that you think should have been on here over another knife on this list, just tell me. I mean, just make sure it's something that you've put to the test. I put every one of these to the test, and most of them I have the videos to show. Some of them, like the Rat, it was before I did YouTube. And yeah, I am excited to see some of y'all thoughts in the comments. You know, if y'all have any that you've just thrashed, but they got to be in that 60 and under price point. You know, this is a beast. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace. Peace.